most of us saw him win, and I'm just gonna go ahead and put this out there. I hope I don't get myself in trouble with the commission or the judges or the WBC or any of these so-called sanctioning bodies, man. But I get sick and tired of this shit. Time and time again, how unfair they could be to these fighters. Like tonight with Sir Hale, how unfair they could be. Yeah. They put their lives on the line, everything that they go through just to get to this point. And for these officials to I don't know what the that, man, and not only that, nobody holds them accountable. Nobody holds them accountable. They interview all the they interview the fighters, they interview the judges, the managers, the promoters, they interview everybody except the judges. They go home. They just go home, and nobody questions them. Nobody puts them on the spot, you know. And I believe that's got to stop. I believe they should be held accountable.
And those are the words of Manny Robles as he gives his thoughts on Barachuk versus Ortiz and the decision that was not given to his fighter. And let me counterpunch. I think that Manny Robles is spot on. I mean, 100% spot on. It's the same thing that I've been saying. When these judges, when they have a weird, strange, out of the ordinary, questionable, controversial decision, and they make that call, nobody says shit. Nobody says anything about anything regarding, like, why did you do that? They get on the referee, and the referee, you know, he's in there. He's already in the ring. He's the third person in the ring. Yeah, they get on him. You know what I mean? What we have it for a lot of these networks is unofficial judges. Unofficial. And they have a lot to say, you know. And of course, the coaches, the trainers, they have a lot to say, you know. And in fact, it's the trainers that actually gets thrown under the bus, where really in reality, just like Manny Robles, and really in reality it should be the judges, because if it goes to decision, you got 2 knockdowns in that fight, and it wasn't by Vergil Ortiz. Vergil Ortiz was knocked down twice in a hard, drug out fight. Okay, so yeah, the outlanding came from Ortiz, but then the result of one's punching power, or certain punches landed, the impact resulted in what? Knockdowns. 2 knockdowns in that fight, and you're looking at it like, okay, well, you got 2 knockdowns, and you got a fight like that, a fight of the year type fight. What would be the defining factor? The knockdowns. The knockdowns. You know what I mean? And it goes to show you, it's like, okay, well, the more boxing you think's going to change due to the fights we get to see, the more the shit really stays the same. Fighters that gave it them all, you know, turns into these bridger fighters, these fighters that are put in place to only make that fighter go to the next step. They're a stepping stone, okay? That's what I call a bridge fighter, a stepping stone to another big fight, okay? So that's what we have. But like Manny Robles said, like, why isn't anyone finding these judges, you know what I mean, pointing them out, calling them out, contacting them, interviewing them? You don't hear any of that. They're like the Al Heyman of boxing, truly. Because we've seen Al Heyman. He's been at shows, the Floyd shows or whatever. And then it does make you wonder why he doesn't really show up at these other guys and say, oh, love Al Heyman, but he doesn't show up at your fucking show. You know what I mean? Maybe he's up in the box somewhere, you know, but then again, you do see him. But then again, just like him, you know, those judges don't get questioned, and they do, and they should be held accountable. They should. It's just ridiculous on how things work like that. It's just ridiculous on how they should be held accountable, and they're not, clearly, you know. And I know Manny Robles, you know, trains that fighter, and you know what I mean? So I think he should know firsthand. But then, of course, you could always argue that, oh, well, it's Manny Robles, that's his fighter, he's supposed to do that. But at the end of the day, you know, he's telling the truth about the welfare of these fighters and the risk versus reward. And the risk could mean death, and the reward, you know what I mean, goes unnoticed because the decision goes to the wrong person. It does get tiresome because it ain't the fact that, oh man, you win some, you lose some, then you go home. No, you win some, you lose some. You go home with memory loss, slurred speech, damaged eye sockets, optic nerve damage, some other temporary or permanent damage that you probably can't do anything about in the long haul. That's what they're risking. Their livelihood. They can't go home to their families like they left. It's not the same. It's like going away to war and then coming back. Why do you think so many soldiers go to counseling and things of this nature? Because they've went through shit, lost arms, limbs, things of that nature. Where in boxing, you can lose your life too. You could be paralyzed in the ring. Okay. So you guys tell me what you think of Manny Robles. I agree. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.